100%. Come on over to YouTube, just not as busy. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. I'll be answering questions on both, but YouTube just not as busy. CD or Godwin? I would go CD. Schultz or Pitts this week? I would go with Pitts. It's really tough. I know Pitts has been not great, but I would go with Pitts. OBJ, Mitchell, Clyde, pick 2. I would go with OBJ, Mitchell. I would go with Mitchell and OBJ. Renfro or Marquise Brown. I would go with Marquise. Knox or Pitts? Knox. Elijah Moore, Claypool. I would go with Elijah Moore. Hurts or Dak? Hurts. Mark Ingram or Miles Sanders versus the Jets? I would go with Mark Ingram. CEH or Tony Pollard? I would go with CEH. Start Taysom Hill or Kirk? I would go with Kirk. Waddle or Saquon at flex? I would go with Waddle, honestly. Devontae Smith or Van Jefferson? Devontae Smith. CEH or Pollard? CEH. CD or Godwin? I'd go CD. One flex, one running back. We got Javonte Williams, Mark Ingram, Brandon Cooks, David Montgomery. I would go with David Montgomery and Mark Ingram. Renfro or Pittman? I would go with Pittman. Mooney, Amari Cooper, and Miles Sanders. Only one of them. I would go with Mooney. Gaskin or Devontae Smith? Gaskin. How are you feeling about Mark Ingram versus the Cowboys? I like Mark Ingram tonight. I mean, he's a volume play. I think he'll be fine. Gesicki or Kittle? I would go with Kittle. And Herbert or Lamar? Lamar. Amari or Mike Williams? Amari. Tyreek and Mattison for Cup? Oh, boy. I probably want to do that, honestly. Kamara's out. Yes, Kamara's out. Jamaal Williams or Pollard? Jamaal Williams. Claypool is on waivers. Should I pick him up and drop Gallup? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. Cooks or Javonte Williams at flex? I would go with Cooks. And real quick, if you're over on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Really appreciate it. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. There's only 13 people over here. Over there's nearly 100. So come on over, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Pittman or Freeman and flex? I would go with Pittman. Pittman or Pitts or Knox? I would go with Knox. Cooks or Mooney, non-PPR? I would go with Mooney. Gibson or Waddle? Gibson. Pitts or Knox? Pitts. Or I would go with Knox. Kelsey or Knox? I would go with Kelsey. Miles Sanders or LaVisca? Miles Sanders. Hopefully he plays. Ayuk or McLaurin? Ayuk. Javonte or Boston Scott? If Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard are out, give me Boston Scott. Otherwise, I'd go Javonte. Hill or Wilson? I would go with Wilson. Thoughts on CD tonight? I like CD. I'd fire him up. I know it's a tougher matchup a little bit here, but I don't care. CD's a stud. Give me CD. Taysom or Kyler? Kyler. Taysom Hill or Wentz this week? Wentz. Damian Harris or Jamaal Williams? Jamaal Williams. Elijah Moore or Javonte Williams? Javonte Williams. Chenault or Hilton? Hilton. Josh Jacobs or Miles Sanders? Josh Jacobs. Jalen Hurts or Taysom Hill? Jalen Hurts. Going into playoffs with Herbert, Eckler, Mattison, Keenan, Hill, Deontay, Knox starting, have Waddle on the bench and Dalvin and Swift out. Any moves I should make? No, I think that team looks really solid, Aiden. Especially if, Dalvin and Swift come back here next couple of weeks. You have them for the playoffs, so looking good. Looking good. Goddard or Schultz? I would go with Schultz. Need 2 from Elijah Mitchell, Connor, Mattison. Oof, that is tough. That's tough. I'm going Mattison. I really like Mattison. And then I'm going to go with Connor. It's a tougher matchup, but with Connor, I know that he's going to be the bell cow back. Like Mitchell, I know he saw some receiving work last week, but it's still been like a hit or miss kind of thing with him. But with James Conner, I know what I'm getting. I go James Conner. Wilson or Wentz? Wentz. McKissick or Mahomes or Ramondre Stevenson? I would go with is McKissick even going to play this week? I would go with Stevenson. I don't know if McKissick's going to play. Taysom Hill or Joe Burrow? Burrow. Gerald Everett or Pitts? Pitts. Kirk Cousins, Taysom Hill, or Russell Wilson? Kirk Cousins. Mark Ingram, Mitchell, or running back Mitchell, flex. No, running back Ingram, flex Mitchell, or running back Mitchell. No, I would keep it Ingram and Mitchell. Pick 2. We got CD, Pittman, Higgins, Terry. I would go as CD and Pittman. Van Jefferson or Javonte? I would go Javonte. Ryan. Stevenson or Breida? I would go with Breida. Well, if Zach Moss is out. If Zach Moss is active this week, then I go Stevenson. Do I start Sony Michel if Henderson doesn't play? Absolutely, yes. Fire him up. Dalton Schultz or TJ Hawkinson? I would go with TJ Hawkinson. Dalton Schultz or Freiermuth? I would go with Dalton Schultz. Devontae Adams for Debo and Ramonde? No, I wouldn't do that. Gesicki or TJ? Gesicki. Or no, I'm going TJ. I'm sorry. Mark Ingram or Josh Jacobs? Mark Ingram. Dalton Schultz or TJ Hawkinson? I would go with TJ Hawkinson. Gaskin or Saquon? Gaskin. Pick 3, we got CD, Terry, Cooper, Pittman, T. Higgins. CD, Pittman, and T. Higgins. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, hit that like button. Also subscribe if you're over on YouTube. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. Let's get it. Mike Williams, let me see. I'll answer some questions over there as well. Ingram or Patterson? I would go with Patterson. Amari or Waddle? Waddle. Lamar or Herbert? Lamar. Bucks D or Cards D? I would go with Bucks D. Cousins or Carr? Cousins. Tim Patrick or Rashad Bateman? Rashad Bateman. Wentz a good start? Yes, he is. Godwin or Mooney? I would go with Godwin. CD or Hollywood? CD. Jamaal Williams a good start? Yes, he is. Depending on who else you have, but yeah, I think he's a solid start this week. Gaskin or Saquon? Gaskin. Zeke or Mitchell this week? I'm going with Zeke. I think the Cowboys are going to overcompensate for what they've done to Zeke a little bit this season and give him a bunch of work this week because they know that they got a bad contract on their hand. Elijah Mitchell is the real deal. Elijah Mitchell is the real deal. He's a stud. Mike Williams or DK? DK. Ingram or Zeke? Zeke. Is McCaffrey a first-round draft pick next year? I think he will be. I mean, me personally, I'd probably, at this point in time, it depends on where exactly he's going. What I think is going to happen, I'm going to make a waiver wire video, or not a waiver wire, mock draft for next year video here. I'm going to do that next week. And what I think is going to happen with Christian McCaffrey, I think he's going to start off as like a second-round draft pick, and then as the off-season progresses, I think people are going to start moving him in the first round. Like kind of like Saquon Barkley is how I envision being this year. Mitchell, Gaskin, and Saquon. Pick 2. I would go Mitchell and Gaskin. Prescott or Carr? Prescott. Eagles defense or Arizona? I would go with the Eagles. Terry or Patterson? Terry or Patterson? I would go with Patterson. Ertz, Higbee, or Schultz? Schultz. Mitchell, Gaskin, and Saquon. I already got that one. Kyle Pitts or Zach Ertz? Kyle Pitts. Should I start the Eagles or Colts defense? I would go with Colts defense. Hunter Renfrow or DK? I would go DK still. It is close. Prescott or Carr? Prescott. CEH or Josh Jacobs? CEH. Godwin or Amari with CD in my lineup already? I'd still go with Amari. Adam Thielen or Mike Evans? Mike Evans. Waddle or Alexander Mattison? Mattison. Goddard or Gesicki? I would go Gesicki. Kyle Pitts or Zach Ertz? I would still go Kyle Pitts. Cousins, Carr, Wentz. Cousins. How many points you think Taysom Hill is going to get tonight? I'd say around 20 is what he's probably projected for. I'd say like 18. It all comes down to if he gets a rushing touchdown or not. Gallup or Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith. Pittman or McLaurin? Pittman. Tony Pollard or Melvin Gordon? They said that Melvin Gordon's like a 50-50 to play this week, so I would just fire up Tony Pollard if you have no backup option. You still starting Gallup? No, not really. I mean, it depends on who else you have, but I don't feel great about him. Mark Ingram or CEH? Need to know by tonight. I would go with I would go with CEH. Cut for Devontae straight up. I'd want cut. Stafford or Cousins? Stafford. Mattison or Zeke? Mattison. Do I start Sony this week? If Darrell Henderson is out, absolutely. Start Brandon Cooks this week? I think he's a solid start. It just depends on who else you have. Mark Ingram or CEH? CEH. Marquise Brown or OBJ? Marquise Brown. But I do like OBJ this week a lot. Rams or Colts D? I would go with the Colts D. Rams defense or Patriots defense? I go with the Rams defense. Pick 3, we got Zeke, Mattison, Montgomery, Gibson, Ingram. I'd go with Mattison, Gibson, and Zeke. Mattison, Gibson, and Zeke. Mattison or Saquon? Or no, that's Miles Sanders or Saquon. I go Saquon. Is it worth keeping Gesicki if I have Freiermuth on the bench? Yeah, I think it's still fine. I mean, Gesicki has a bye week next week. If you want to pick up somebody else, like, go for it. Elijah Moore or Cousins? Huh? Elijah Moore or Cousins? Is this like a super flex? Cousins. Unless it's supposed to be somebody else. Cousins. Her cousin? If it's like a super flex, I would definitely go with quarterback. So I would go with Cousins. I mean Cooper. Oh, okay. I would go with Elijah Moore. Foster Moreau, good start this week on the flex. Yes, he is. Wentz or Mac Jones? Wentz. Pick 3, Hopkins, Pittman, Thielen, OBJ, Bateman. I would go with Hopkins, Pittman. No, I would go Pittman, Thielen, OBJ. DK or Mike Evans? Mike Evans. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button if you're over on YouTube. Also, like button, really appreciate it. Helps support the channel. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. There's only 30 people over here, 100 people over there. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. And if you're over on YouTube, want to get your questions answered 100%, Super Chat's available. Also, type in exclamation membership to sign up to be a member. Members get their questions answered 100% of the time, low as $2.99. So type in exclamation membership to sign up to be a member. Help support the channel, but also help support you as well in getting your questions. Henderson or Connors? I would go James Conner. Josh Allen start this week? Yeah, I mean, I'd still fire him up unless you have like Lamar Jackson or somebody. Start Cooper or Mike Will? Cooper. Ingram or Claypool? Ingram. Gallup, Claypool, or Jerry Jeudy? Pick 1. Jerry Jeudy. Gronk, Ertz, or Schultz? Pick 2. I would go with Gronk and Schultz. Damian Harris or Pollard? Damian Harris. Or no, I'm sorry. I'd go Pollard. OBJ or Devontae Smith? OBJ. Boston Scott. Play Boston Scott even if Sanders plays. I think he's a solid. It just depends on who else you have. Like and subscribe. Got a couple for you. Devonta Freeman, Damian Harris, Darnell Mooney at flex. I would go with Darnell Mooney out of all those guys. Logan Thomas or Hunter Henry, Logan Thomas, and Kirk Cousins or Kyler at quarterback. Kyler. Choose 2. We got Pollard, Freeman, Jamaal Williams. I would go with Jamaal Williams and Freeman. Freiermuth or Moreau? Moreau. Wentz or Wilson? Wentz. Kirk Cousins or Van Jefferson? I would go with Kirk. Or no, that's Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk or Van Jefferson? Christian Kirk. Taysom Hill, Carson Wentz, or Derek Carr? I need to double check my quarterback rank for this. Was Carson Derek Carr? I would go Derek Carr. I know Derek Carr was in there. Derek Carr. Carson Wentz or Josh Allen? I would go Josh Allen. Thanks, man. Love the channel. Appreciate the love. Elijah Mitchell, Antonio Gibson, James Conner start 2. I'm going with Antonio Gibson, James Conner. I love Elijah Mitchell, but I just feel better with James Conner. I know what his role is going to be. Pitts or Knox? Knox. Jamaal Williams or Mark Ingram? Jamaal Williams. Any defense off of waivers that you like over the Rams defense? Probably not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Not really. I like the Rams a lot this weekend. T. Higgins or Hunter Renfro? T. Higgins. Pick 1. Aiyuk, Lockett, or Pittman? Aiyuk, Lockett, or Pittman? Pittman. Heineke or Hill? Heineke. Not so big on Taysom Hill this week. No, not really. I just don't think that Taysom Hill is a good quarterback. Like, yeah, I get it. He could maybe rush a decent amount. So I kind of like him there. But also, like, you have guys with really good matchups like Derek Carr, Carson Wentz. I really like the matchups that these guys have more than I like the possibility of Taysom Hill rushing the ball. I mean, you know, you had, I guess maybe he wasn't like fully healthy, but I mean, Trevor Siemian was playing over him. I mean, I was never impressed by Taysom Hill last year. I think he's exactly what I think he is. He's the right-handed Tim Tebow. That's what he is. I don't think he's any good. You're hoping for a touchdown around the goal line, which he could certainly get. I just think he sucks, to be completely honest with you. Patriots or Bucks defense this week? Patriots or Bucks defense? I would go with the Bucks defense, playing Atlanta. Start Zeke today? Yeah, I like Zeke. Wentz or Heineke? Wentz. Start Ezekiel Elliott today? I would. Just depends on who else you have, but he's a top 10 play. Should I drop Derrick Henry? Yeah, you could have dropped Derrick Henry weeks ago. Gronk or Gaskin at flex this week? Oh, boy, that is tough. I'd still go with Gaskin. Only reason is because Tampa Bay, there's a lot of mouths to feed. I do really love Gronk, but Gaskin, I think he has a really solid matchup this week. And he's been really solid, really, since Malcolm Brown went down. Bateman, Elijah Moore, or Gallup this week. I would go with Elijah Moore, reverse. And sub, dude. I saw it. What do I do with DK? Hey, still fire him up. He's still a top 20 wide receiver for me. Patterson, a good play versus the Bucks. Yeah, because the thing with Patterson is you got the dual threat ability with Patterson, where you don't need to rely on, oh, they're really tough against running backs because the run defense is really good. Well, he lines up as a wide receiver as well. So you don't need to worry. Patterson is the ultimate army knife. And he's a top 10 play for that reason, where it doesn't matter what the matchup is for him, for running back or wide, because he's both. And that's the greatest thing with Cordell Patterson right now. And there's nobody else on that offense other than Kyle Pitts. It's literally trash. Trash. Do you think Kyler is going to play this week? I do think Kyler will play. Hollywood Brown, I said that I thought Antonio Brown was going to play this week, and he ended up not playing. So I think he's going to play. Hollywood Brown or Hunter Renfrow, Hollywood Brown. Kittle or Knox, Kittle. Do I trade Taylor and Andrews for Eckler and Kelsey? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be giving up Taylor right now. If you're in a spot where you need to win, Jonathan Taylor still does have his bye, so there's only that tiny thing. But I would just keep Taylor. I would keep Taylor. Prescott or Cousins? Prescott. Pick one. Elijah Moore, Kendrick Bourne. Elijah Moore. I traded Elijah Moore for Mike Williams. Was that a good deal? I think it's okay. It's sure. I probably would have stuck with Elijah Moore, to be honest with you. I think that dude's an absolute stud. Goddard or Fant? I think he's a better player. You can say, oh, they're two different types of players. I don't really care. I'll always take a route runner. A dude that's a phenomenal route runner can get open on his own just by his route running ability. I'll always take him over a guy who, is fast and can maybe win a jump ball here or there. Mike Williams is an average wide receiver, I think. I don't think Mike Williams is that good of a football player, to be completely honest with you. I think he's average. I think Elijah Moore is oozing of potential. I think Elijah Moore was Devontae Smith was probably the best route runner in this draft class, but I think Elijah Moore is right there with him. Start OBJ or Lockett? OBJ. Pick 3. We got Saquon, Jacobs, Mitchell, Ingram, CH. Wait, what was it? Saquon, Jacobs, Mitchell, Ingram, CH. I would go with Mitchell, CH, and Saquon. Thielen or Zeke? Zeke. Mooney or Bourne? Mooney. CH, Mitchell, J-Rob, pick 2. I would go with Mitchell and J-Rob. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Hit that like button if you're over on YouTube. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. A couple questions over on TikTok real quick. Should I start Moreau over Hawkinson? No, I would go Hawkinson. Mattison or Melvin Gordon? Mattison. Zeke or James Robinson? Zeke. Pick 2. We got Zeke, J-Rob. I think that was Javonte, right? Was that Javonte? And Jamaal, Zeke, and J-Rob. Go Zeke and J-Rob. Hawkinson or Logan Thomas? Hawkinson, CEH or Gibson? Gibson. Pick 2. We got Evans, Godwin, Waddle. Evans and Godwin. Ertz or Pitts? Pitts. Kirk or Beasley? Kirk. Should I start Thielen or Evans? I would go with Evans. Moreau, Thomas, or Breida at flex? I would go with Moreau. Aiyuk or James Robinson? James Robinson. If Gordon is out, what was that question? If Gordon is out, who do I sit between Montgomery, Jamaal Williams, Mattison? I would go with Jamaal Williams there. I would sit Jamaal Williams. Pittman or Marquise Brown? I would go with Pittman. Odell or T. Higgins? Odell. All right, over on YouTube real quick. Brady or Kyler? Honestly, Brady's QB1 for me this week. I'd go Brady. Start Mooney or Lockett? I would go with I'd go Lockett. Sutton or Harris for flex? I would go with Sutton. Need to trade Pittman. What should I look for in return? Why do you need to trade him is my question. If you're looking to trade him, look for it. It's really tough to say. Look for a team that needs a wide receiver and send trade offers. Knox or Goddard? Knox. They said that Amari Cooper will be limited to a snap count. This boosts Michael Gallup to a must start now. I wouldn't say must start now. I'd say like he's definitely startable, but I wouldn't say a must start now. I don't fully believe teams when they say, "Oh, he's on a snap count." I don't fully believe. I don't buy into that. Now sometimes it's true, but if you look at other times, like think of this year, like yeah, I guess you could say it for Aaron Jones a little bit, but Aaron Jones ran a decent amount of routes. He just wasn't fully healthy. George Kittle, oh, he's on a snap count, comes back and like plays a ton and has a really solid game. I think back to CMC last year, oh, snap count. CMC this year, oh, snap count. Wasn't on a snap count. Like, I don't fully believe. It's so hit or miss. Teams don't tell the truth, so I don't fully buy into, oh, limited snap count stuff. Dak or Josh Allen? Dak. Ingram or Javonte? If Melvin Gordon is out, Javonte Williams is like a borderline RB1 this week. I love Javonte Williams. It all comes down to Javonte Williams. I think it's pretty close between Ingram and Javonte Williams without Melvin Gordon being out. But like if Javonte Williams or if Melvin Gordon is out, like I would love to play Javonte Williams over Ingram. So I'd probably just risk it with Javonte, to be honest with you. Two keepers for next year: Mixon, Zeke, Carson, Debo. I mean, I would go with Mixon and Debo. Thoughts on Eagles defense versus the Jets? I think they're really solid. Josh Allen or Justin Herbert? I would go Justin Herbert. Mooney or Lockett? I would go with Lockett. Devontae Smith or Amari Cooper? Devontae Smith. Mattison or Singletary? Mattison. Clyde or Javonte? Once again, if Melvin Gordon is out, I'm definitely going Javonte. Otherwise, I'd go Clyde. Gesicki or Freiermuth rest of the season? I'd go with Muth just because he's already had his bye week. Van Jefferson or Kendrick Bourne? I would go with Van Jefferson. Mooney or Lockett? Lockett. Josh Allen or Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert. Hill or Lamar? Lamar. Devontae Smith or Amari Cooper? Devontae Smith. Gesicki or Freiermuth? Freiermuth. For the rest of the season, do I start Brandon Cooks or Traquan Smith? Brandon Cooks. Eagles or Tampa Bay's defense? I would go with Tampa Bay. Gesicki or Knox? Knox. Would you start Ingram over Pittman or Aiyuk? It really close between Aiyuk, but I'd probably give the nod to Aiyuk. Man, that's tough. It's really close between him and Aiyuk. Honestly, in my rankings, they're right next to each other. Definitely, I would start Pittman over Ingram, but it's really, really close between Ingram or Aiyuk. I'd give the slight edge to, like if Trevor Siemian was playing, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with Ingram, but I do think that there's that risk of Taysom Hill vulturing a touchdown from Mark Ingram, and that's why I'm not like super all in on Mark Ingram like I would be if Trevor Siemian was playing. I definitely think that hurts Mark Ingram with Taysom Hill playing. I still think Taysom Hill sucks, but there's always the risk around the goal line that he vultures in a touchdown. So need a flex, Golladay, Hawkinson, or Emmanuel Sanders. I would go with Hawkinson. I do like Golladay this week a little bit here. Zeke or Saquon? I would go with Zeke. Mattison or Singletary? Definitely Mattison. Yo, Mattison is a top 5 play this week at the running back. Don't get it confused. Mattison, you need to be playing Mattison if you have him. Mattison is the 2 games, I believe 2 games earlier in the season is what Dalvin Cook was out for. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 2 games he was out for earlier in the season. And in those games, he had 34 and 32 touches. Mattison is an absolute top 5 running back this week against Detroit, who's given up the 5th most points of the running back position. Don't get it confused. Madison needs to be in your starting lineups this week. And if he flops, it is what it is. It's good process to be starting Madison 100% this week as a high-end RB1. How's Texas Longhorn Steakhouse last night? It was good. It was good. Always love going out to Thielen, McLaurin, Waddle, pick 2. I would go with Thielen and Waddle this week. Start 2, Elijah Mitchell, Antonio Gibson, James Conner. I'd go Antonio Gibson, James Conner. I love Elijah Mitchell, but just like I feel better about those guys in their role in the offense. Montgomery or Zeke, I would go Zeke. Jerry Jeudy or Bateman, I would go Jerry Jeudy. Yo, something is. Hey, Jesse, stop. Thielen, McLaurin, Waddle, pick 2. Thielen and Waddle. Debo and Mattison for Javonte. Like if you're in a spot where you need to win now, like I'd rather have. Honestly, no, I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't do that. Might sound crazy, but like with maybe Debo comes back next week, and Debo's been an absolute stud this year. Mattison is going to be a stud with Dalvin Cook out. And yeah, Dalvin Cook could miss a week, could miss 2 weeks, could miss a month. We don't know. Dalvin Cook is a high-end RB1 with no Dalvin Cook. J. Will or Ingram. I would go Javonte Williams, honestly. I just risk it with him. Or unless that's Jamaal Williams. If it's Jamaal, I would go, regardless, both Williams. Schultz or Logan Thomas, I would go Schultz. Gaskin or Jamaal Williams, Gaskin. Staying up late, gaming, or sleep? Stay up late, gaming, or sleep? Stay up late, gaming. Always gaming. Always be gaming. Thoughts on Sony Michel this week? Absolutely love him. I'd say he's a back-end RB1 if Darrell Henderson doesn't play this week. Scott or Javonte? Javonte. Thoughts on Sony Michel? I already got that one. Real quick as well. Mooney or Claypool? Mooney. Real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're over on YouTube. Also, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over. Get your questions answered. Answer a couple questions over there. Parker or Galladay? I would go with Galladay. Hurts or Dak? I would go with Hurts. CD or Cooper? CD. Knox or Gronk? Gronk. Hurts or Dak? Hurts. Carr, Stafford? Stafford. Gordon or Freeman? If Gordon plays, I'd go Gordon. Hawkinson or Goddard? Hawkinson. Burrow or Josh Allen? I'd still go Josh Allen. Trade Swift for Gibson? I would right now. Swift could be out for a while here. Damian Harris or Bourne? Damian Harris or Bourne? I would go Damian Harris. Barkley or Josh Jacobs? I would go Barkley. Knox or McLaurin and flex? I go McLaurin. Pitts or Gesicki? I would go with Gesicki. Tyrod or Taysom Hill? I would go Taysom Hill. And once again, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. Mark Andrews and Javonte Williams for Pat Freiermuth and Mitchell. No, I wouldn't do that trade. Ingram, Jerry Jeudy, Odell, Allen or Thielen? I would go with Keenan Allen. Elijah Moore or Renfro. Light or dark beer? Be honest with you, I don't really drink beer. I don't really drink at all, to be completely honest with you. If I had to pick one, it'd be light just because I don't drink. Mooney or Aiyuk? I would go with Aiyuk. Fournette, Henderson, and Mahomes for Cousins, Lamb, and Najee Harris. Who wins? Fournette, Henderson, and Mahomes for Cousins, Lamb, and Najee. I mean, I'd rather just have the Fournette side. I'd rather have that side because Mahomes better than Cousins. Rather have him over Cousins. Honestly, at this point, maybe Fournette over Najee. It's really close, and Henderson and Lamb's pretty close. I'd rather have that side. I think it's pretty fair. Like one of them's getting a wide receiver. If you need the wide receiver, I mean, I think that's fair. Eckler or Connor? I would go with Eckler. Bourne or Van Jefferson? Van Jefferson. Would you make any changes here? Starters: Prescott, Cordell Patterson, Mattison, Metcalf, Mike Evans, Fant, Hunter Renfrow, bench: Amari Cooper, Damian Harris, Mike Williams, Elijah Moore, Matthew Stafford. I mean, personally, I'd go with Matthew Stafford over Prescott. It's really close, so if you want to go Prescott, go for it. Other than that, no, I think it looks good. I'd leave it as is. That's the only thing I would do differently. If you want to keep it as is, go for it. Marquise Brown, Mooney, or Renfrow? I would go with Marquise Brown. Like and subscribe. Now, Keenan Allen or Thielen? I would go with, I need to double check. I need to actually see where I have Keenan Allen. I would go Keenan Allen. He's one spot higher. Jamaal Williams, CH, and Montgomery. Start 2. I would go with, let me double check that. That's got to be really close. Those guys got to be like literally right next to each other. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, David Montgomery, and who is the other one? Jamaal Williams? Is that it? I would sit Jamaal Williams. Who should I start at flex? Ingram, Jacobs, Sony, or CH? So if Darrell Williams is out, or Darrell Henderson is out, I would go with Sony Michel. And if he's not, I would go with CH. Elijah Moore and Mooney. Patterson, Elijah Moore for Debo and CEH. Yeah, I would do that trade. Dalton Schultz or Traquan Smith tonight. Dalton Schultz. Thanks for your help. I wish you did basketball. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll do basketball sometime here. I will. Thanks, man. Helped a lot. No problem. You're welcome. Elijah Moore or Mooney. I would go with Elijah Moore or Mooney. Mooney. I have Mooney. Do you think Swift is out this week? Yeah. I don't think Swift is honestly going to play for a couple weeks, unfortunately. And I have DeAndre Swift literally in every single league. So it's very, very sad. My team is falling apart here because a lot of leagues I have Aaron Jones. A lot of leagues I have Alvin Kamara. Every single league I have DeAndre Swift. And my team is falling apart now. It's really sad because my teams were, oh man, they're looking so good. Now it's just like, slowly but surely my guys are dropping like flies. Eckler, Connor, Eckler. Pick a running back and wide receiver, Galladay or Gallup. I would go with Gallup and Javonte Williams or Monty. If Melvin Gordon is out, give me Javonte Williams. Otherwise, I would go Monty. Stafford or Lamar? I need to double check. I want to say Lamar. I'm pretty sure I have Lamar, but I really do like Stafford this. Yeah, I have Lamar. Lamar's one spot higher than Stafford. Melvin Gordon didn't practice today. No, he did not. He did not practice today. So there's a chance. They said he's 50-50 this week. So if Melvin Gordon is out, Javonte Williams is I honestly, I got to redo my rankings. I got to look at it, but it's really hard for me not to make him an RB1. Really hard. I definitely think he's an RB1 with honestly high-end RB1 potential. There's Javonte Williams is oozing of potential, and it's really hopefully Melvin Gordon, I'm being a little selfish here, but I hope Melvin Gordon plays because I think not everybody is sure about Javonte Williams. A lot of people aren't just because they drafted him this year expecting big things, which he's been solid. But I think he's an absolute RB1 next year with no Melvin Gordon. And I don't think a lot of people realize that yet. So I kind of don't want Javonte Williams to really showcase himself so it drives down his price, his stock next year. That's just, I'm selfish, I know. Just saw Mark Ingram is playing today. Would you play him over Alexander Mattison? No, I absolutely not. Alexander Mattison for me is a bona fide high-end RB1 this week. Mooney or Christian Kirk? I would go with Mooney. Am I sitting Amari Cooper today? I know that I made a TikTok of sitting him. It just depends on who you have though. Like if you're sitting him over like, I don't know, Marvin Jones, like no, I want to be. It just depends on who else you have. Gordon or McLaurin? I would go with McLaurin. Marvin Jones or Michael Gallup? Michael Gallup. Marvin Jones or Michael Gallup? I already got that one. Cooper, Gallup, or Elijah Moore? I would go with Elijah Moore there. Love Elijah Moore this week. Patterson or Zeke? Zeke. Taysom Hill or Heineke? Okay. I would go Heineke in that situation. I got to double check this. I want to make sure I have Taysom. Yeah, Taysom Hill is a spot higher than Heineke. So I would go Taysom. Patterson or Zeke? Zeke. OBJ, Van Jefferson, Ingram, pick 2. I would go with OBJ and Ingram. I have Damian Harris, Jamaal Williams, and Tevin Coleman. 2, should I start? Honestly, I'm going Tevin Coleman, Jamaal Williams. I really don't like Damian Harris. And this is why I don't like Damian Harris, because a lot of people were like, why don't you have Damian Williams in your start? Damian Harris in your start. Number 1 plays Buffalo. Buffalo has been absolutely brutal this year against the running back position. I believe that they're like second against the run this year. I know that they're a top 5 unit against the running back position this year. So really tough matchup. Also, last week, you literally had him and Stevenson splitting snaps. Also, you had Brandon Bolden involved as well. So like it's a committee approach here. With Stevenson doing really well with Damian Harris out, they look like they're giving him more work going forward. So You have a committee back in a really tough matchup. No thanks. I don't want that. Which person would you pick up from waivers? Ingram, Tony Pollard, Sterling Shepard, Darnell Mooney, or Russell Gage? Thanks for your help, man. You're the best. So if you're in a spot where you need someone this week, I would pick up Ingram. But if you're in a spot for more of season long, Darnell Mooney has been playing really well as of late. I would probably pick up Darnell Mooney. Actually, no, I wouldn't. I would pick up Tony Pollard because if Zeke gets hurt or something, you have Tony Pollard, who's a absolute RB1. So I would pick up Tony Pollard. This is the time of the year where you start to cut your trash, your average players, and pick up the backup running backs. Give me Tony Pollard. Zeke or Henderson? Zeke. Speaking of Ingram, I'm starting him, Antonio Gibson, benching Javonte, and Dave Montgomery. Am I right? We'll flex Javonte if no Melvin. Who are you starting over the flex then? Who are you flexing? Honestly, I would rather go Javonte and David Montgomery over Ingram, to be honest with you. Should I trade Russell Wilson? I mean, you can try. I don't think his value is very high. I want to start Elijah Moore over Cooper, but I don't know if I trust Zach Wilson. I don't think Is Zach Wilson playing this week? I don't think Zach Wilson is playing. I think it's going to be I thought it was going to be Joe Flacco, the starting quarterback. I thought I could be wrong. I thought Joe Flacco was starting this week though. That's why I like Elijah Moore. I could be wrong. I thought that they said what's his face going to be out. Wilson's going to be out. Start OBJ versus Jacksonville or Mike Williams. I would go OBJ. Ingram, Jacobs, Jamaal Williams, or Henderson. Pick 3. I would go Jamaal Williams, Ingram, and I would just go with Jacobs because I don't think Henderson's going to play this. I don't know if he's going to play or not. I wouldn't take the risk. I would play the other guys. Cooks, Pittman, or Waddle at flex. I would go with Pittman. Do you think I should keep holding on to Calvin Ridley? It really depends on who you'd be dropping for it, like who you'd be picking up for him. But I do think that it's getting to the point where it's like, oh, he practiced in full today? Dang it. I thought Flacco was starting. Man, that completely throws things off here. Ugh. Zach Wilson sucked. Harvard. Okay, that moves more down for me. I thought Joe Flacco was going to be starting. I got to readjust that. Gordon or Ingram? I would go with Ingram. Need a kicker this week. Greg the Leg, Prater, or Gay? I would go with Matt Gay. Marvin Jones or Bateman? I would go with Bateman. I have Knox playing Monday. Should I start him over Fant against the Chiefs? Yes, I would. Stafford or Herbert? I would go with Stafford. Lockett, Cooper versus Justin Jefferson or Justin Jefferson. I would go with Lockett and Justin Jefferson. Russ or Wentz? 2 out of Jamar Chase, Deontay Johnson, Godwin, Aiyuk. Standard scoring. I would go with Deontay and Godwin. Montgomery or Javonte Williams? Javonte Williams. If Gordon's out, otherwise Montgomery. Cooks, Pittman, or Aiyuk at flex? Pittman. Kyler, Hurts, or Dak? Kyler. Lockett or Cooper? Lockett. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Really appreciate it if you're over on YouTube. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Make sure you hit that follow button if you're over there as I post new content throughout the week and go live strictly on TikTok as well throughout the week too. So make sure you hit that follow button. All right, let's get back to it. And I'm going to end this live stream here in a little bit too. I'll be going live later, like probably around 5 o'clock tonight for the game. Aiyuk, a must start, no Debo. I wouldn't say a must start. It depends on who else you have, but I do think that he's a solid play this week. Absolutely. Lockett or Cooper? Lockett. Fant or Freiermuth? Freiermuth. Hunter Henry or Logan Thomas this week. Logan Thomas. CEH, Pittman, or Renfro. Pick 2. CEH and Pittman. Who should I start at my flex? Myers, Marvin Jones, or Tyler Boyd? I would go with Marvin Jones. Lockett or D-Hop? I would go with D-Hop. Thoughts on Miles Sanders? Listen, I love Miles Sanders, the player. It's just the team doesn't seem to love him for some reason. I don't understand it. Lockett or D-Hop? D-Hop. Knox or Thomas? Knox. Elijah Mitchell or James Robinson? Elijah Mitchell. Do I have Andrews? I have Andrews and Dawson Knox. Should I keep playing them both? Don't have great wideouts. Yeah, I mean, I think they're flex worthy if you don't have, a good flex. Yeah. Dalton Schultz or Logan Thomas? I would go Dalton Schultz. I did Gibson for Montgomery. Did I win or lose? I'd rather have Gibson, to be honest. Ingram or DK? I would go with, gotta double check that. That's got to be close here. DK. Mark Ingram is 2 spots higher than DK. So very, very close. Very close. Pittman or Godwin? Godwin. Freiermuth or Logan Thomas? Logan Thomas. Or I'm sorry, I go Pat Freiermuth. Antonio Gibson or Leonard Fournette? Ooh, let's see. I'd say Leonard Fournette. Yes, Leonard Fournette. I love Gibson though. Who are you starting over Gibson? Why Gesicki over Pitts? Because I just think that I know it's a better matchup for Pitts technically, but to me, I think that Gesicki right now, I know it hasn't been great, but he's scored more points on the season than Pitts, and he's definitely due. So I think I would go with Pitts for that, or I would go with Gesicki for that reason. I mean, it's really close. I just think he's due here for a decent week, as he's had a couple down weeks in a row here. So I think he's just due. It's really close, though. I mean, I don't see much of a difference. You're getting to the tight end spot where it's like, whoever scores a touchdown. Like, if you don't have a top 3 tight end, every single week it's kind of like a dart throw. Oh, is my guy going to score a touchdown this week? If not, oh, gosh. My guy going to get, 4 catches this week? I sure hope so. If not, he sucks. Like, that's what I would say. I would say, like, top 4. Top 4. If you don't have a top 4 guy, it's like, oh, gosh. Like, hit or miss every single week. Is James Conner a starter this week? Absolutely. 100%. Freiermuth or Pitts? I would go with Pitts there. Because he's also kind of due as well. But Freiermuth has been, I feel like Freiermuth is definitely more of a safer pick where he doesn't have the upside like Pitts has. But Freiermuth has been pretty consistent in your PPR league. Jamar Chase or Deontay Johnson? Deontay. Love Deontay this week. Elijah Moore, Boston Scott. Ingram or Williams? Which Williams? I mean, there's a lot of Williams. Or if it's Jamaal Williams or Javonte Williams, I would go. Or Mike Williams. I would go if it's the 2 running backs, those Williams over Ingram. If it's not, then I would go with if it's Mike Williams, I'd go Ingram. Even with the top 4 guy, it's hit or miss. LOL. Yeah, that's true. I mean, tight end just sucks. Unless you have Travis Kelce, it's like hit or miss most of the time. Henderson or Ingram? But like I would say with the top 4 guys, like Kittle, you can rely on them much more than your mid-range guys, for sure. Is CD starting tonight? I believe so. Ingram, Jamaal Williams, Lockett, or Pitts? One of them? I would go with Jamaal Williams. CeeDee Lamb or Hillard? CeeDee Lamb and Hillard for Stephon Diggs? Nah. I was looking at it. Stephon Diggs has like 2 games over 100 yards this year. What's up, Tyler? How you doing? Yo, what up, Yuki? Predictions for CD and Dak tonight. I think that CD and Dak are going to be pretty solid. I don't think that Dak has a massive game tonight. Maybe I could be wrong. I really think that this team's going to overcompensate for Zeke tonight and really get him playing. Feed him the rock tonight. That's why I love Zeke over rushing yards tonight. I think he's going to get 20 carries tonight. I think they're going to feed him the rock. He'll get there. CD, though, I do like CD. I think that CD is going to be a really solid play tonight. Dak, of course, is still a top 10 play. But I really like CD tonight. Is Swift playing? I really doubt Swift plays. No, I don't think Swift's going to. Mooney or Russell Gage, I would go with Mooney. Henderson or Ingram? I don't know if Henderson's going to play. Do we know if Henderson has practiced today? Has Henderson practiced today? If Henderson has not practiced today, then I'm going with Whoever the other guy was. Good. What the question was, to be honest with you. Ingram. I would go with Ingram. Mooney or Russell Gage? I would go with Mooney. Mooney. Zeke or Eckler? Eckler. I'll go with Eckler. Keenan Allen or Hunter Renfrow? Keenan Allen. And real quick, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree would take you over to my YouTube channel. The profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. And if you're on YouTube and you want your questions answered 100% of the time, sign up to be a member. It's as low as $2.99. All you got to do is type in !membership. It will pop up a link. You can click on the link. The link will take you to sign up. Low as $2.99. You can see Yuki, Sammy right there. They are members. They have a green name tag with a badge next to the name. They get their questions answered 100% of the time. You get priority in chat. So sign up to be a member. Low as $2.99. I was offered Mark Andrews, Zeke, and DJ Moore for Cup. Do I accept? Boy, that's tough. Like, if you need those guys, I mean, I would. But if you don't really need them, I would just keep Cup. I mean, I think that Cup could be the #1 flex player this week. Do you think Hurts plays this week? Yeah, I do. I think Hurts plays. Vikings or Pats, D? I would go Vikings. Taysom Hill or Dak? Dak. Is Trey Lance a good fantasy option next year? Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I wonder where Jimmy G's going to go. I wonder who the Steelers are going to go. That's what I'm really interested in. What if Jimmy G goes? What if? There's so many what if. Start 2. We got Ingram, Mooney, or Jacobs. I would go with 2 running backs. Ingram and Jacobs. CH or Beckham? CH. Zeke, Lockett, or Henderson. Start 2. I would go Zeke and Lockett. Well, if Henderson plays, I would go Henderson over Lockett. Obviously, but I would definitely go Zeke. I would be starting Zeke and then Lockett if Lamar Jackson. CH or Beckham. I would go with Beckham. Kyler Murray or Brady. Brady's my quarterback 1 this week. Mattison or Gibson? Mattison. Jack Doyle, Zach Ertz, or Logan Thomas? Zach Ertz. Foster Moreau or Logan Thomas? Yo, as long as Darren Waller's out, fire up Foster Moreau. I really like him. Ingram or Pittman? I would go with Pittman. Hey, man, I appreciate your help. Henderson or Ingram? Worried about Henderson not playing? Yeah, I would go with Ingram for that reason. Henderson, I would go with Ingram just because I'm not totally sure if Henderson's going to play. And if you don't have a backup plan, like a solid backup plan, then yeah, I would go with Ingram because I do think that Ingram's a pretty good play tonight. Jimmy G to Houston. Jimmy G to the Houston Texans for Deshaun. Yeah, right. All right, you're just saying that like he gets signed. I could see that. I mean, I'm really interested to see where Jimmy G is going to go this year. I have a feeling that maybe like the Steelers try to make a push. I'm interested to see who the Steelers get. Because I definitely don't think that the Steelers, because I'm a Steelers fan, I don't think that the Steelers draft somebody. I think that they're going to sign some. Can I drop McCaffrey? Absolutely, yes. Yes. Terry and Chuba for Zeke and Renfro or Mooney. Yeah, I would get Zeke, and honestly, I'd go with Renfro. It's really close though with him and Mooney. Man. I'd go with Renfro just because this offense is more of a passing offense, so I'd go with Renfro. Ingram or Gibson? Gibson. Mike Williams or Renfro? I would go with Renfro. More Moreau or Fryermuth? Moreau. There 2. Patterson, Mitchell, Montgomery. Patterson and Mitchell. Is Amari playing tonight? I believe so, yeah. Shepard or Bourne? I would go with Kendrick Bourne. Do I drop Allen Robinson at this point? Yeah, he's dropped. Would you play Mooney or Gallup this week? I'd rather go Mooney. Mooney. Hey, real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, hit that like button if you're over on TikTok. Also hit the follow. If you want to get your questions answered, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile. In my description is a link tree. The link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Answer a couple questions over there real quick. Should I bench Devontae Smith? I think he's a good play, but it depends on who else you have. Cowboys or Colts D? Colts D. Burrow or Taysom Hill, I would go with Burrow. And how do you feel about D-Hop this week? I like D-Hop. It just, once again, depends on who else you have, but I think that this is a solid week for D-Hop. Lamb, Cup, Connor, Terry, Lockett. Pick 3. Cup, Connor, and Lamb. Moreau or Hawkinson? I would go Hawkinson there. Higgins or Renfro? Higgins, Tua or Taysom Hill? This is so close. It's such a close one. I'll probably like it. These two guys are literally right next. This is right in the range where it's. I'm gonna go with Taysom Hill just because the rushing upside, but it's really close there. Like those are, it's right in the range. Like him, Taylor Heineke, Taysom Hill, Taylor Heineke, and Tua are in the same group of guys for me this week. Eagles D or Rams D? I would go with the Rams D. Mooney or Mark Ingram? I would go with Mark Ingram. Elijah Moore or Corey Davis? Elijah Moore. Start Burrow or actually, you have Zach Wilson playing this week. This kills me with Elijah Moore. I go with Corey Davis if he's healthy because it looks like Zach Wilson, he prefers Corey Davis over Elijah Moore. So I go with Corey Davis. Start Burrow or Hurts. Ingram or Pittman? Is this your full-time job? Absolutely, baby. My full-time job. Let's get it. Being a content creator, love it. Tough job, but get freedom. And it's literally it's limitless in the amount of money that you can make. It's being smart, working hard, make money, enjoy it. Don't have to deal with a boss. Don't gotta, I gotta work 9 to 5. Screw it. I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want. But it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I mean, I was up till 3 a.m. doing stuff last night. It's literally your life. Moreau or Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews. Knox or Pitts? Knox or Pitts? Knox. Taysom Hill or Russell Wilson? This is also a tough one. I'd still go Russ. I believe this offense is going to get going. I believe. Wentz or Stafford? Stafford. Trade McLaurin and Najee for Gibson and Tyreek? I would want Gibson and Tyreek, yeah. Lamb or Montgomery? Lamb. Pittman, Scary Terry, Elijah Moore, Aiyuk. Pittman and Aiyuk. Or no, that only one. I would go Pittman. Waddle or Pollard? Waddle. Sony Michel or AJ Green. As long as if Darrell Henderson is out, give me Sony Michel. Otherwise, I go AJ Green. Cooper, Hopkins, or Pittman. Only one. I would go Pittman there. Mark Andrews or Kittle? I would go with Kittle. Amari Cooper or Aiyuk. Should I start DK this week? It depends on who else you have, but I still think he's a top 20 play, yeah. Do you think Atlanta is limiting Pitts, or is he not living up to the hype yet? No, it's just, you go back in history and look at, rookie tight ends. They're just not that successful, especially in terms of fantasy football. I don't think that they're limiting them. It's tight ends is a really tough position in football, and it's just, he's a rookie, but he's a generational talent. He'll be back. He'll be fine. He'll be good. It's just kind of, all season, a lot of people are saying don't draft Pitts. I mean, I was one of them. It was just going way too high for my liking. But I just think that it's just, he's a rookie, fortunately. And rookie tight ends don't have a whole lot of success. I know that a lot of the other positions, when they come in and the rookies, have a lot of success, but historically, tight ends don't have a whole lot of success as a rookie tight end. So, yeah. Vikings or Philly defense? I would go with the Vikings. People, like and subscribe. Join the membership. Let's effing go. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Sign up to be a member. It helps you. It also benefits me, but helps you get your questions answered 100% of the time. Exclamation point membership to sign up, as low as $2.99. Just don't get a McChicken or a McRib. Hit that join button. You get your questions answered 100% of the time. Get your questions answered. You're like, hey man, thanks. I don't got to sit here for 20 minutes asking the same question. Pollard or Breida, RB2. I would go with Pollard. Devontae Parker, Tony, or Bateman. I would go with Bateman. And real quick, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. I'll answer a couple questions over there. We got Odell or Zeke, Burrow or Herbert. I would go with Herbie. Zeke, Henderson, Mitchell, Mixon, pick 3. I would go with Mixon, Mitchell, and Zeke. I don't think Henderson's going to play this. Schultz or Goddard. I would go with Schultz. Gaskin or Robinson. Robinson. Ertz or Hawkinson. I would go with Hawkinson. Should I start Sony Michel? Definitely if what's his face is out. If Henderson is out, absolutely. What do you think of Tony Pollard? I mean, I think Tony Pollard's a really solid running back. Really, he should. It should be really a committee, I think, in this backfield. But I don't think they're going to let it happen. I think if I'm betting on the under for Tony Pollard tonight for his rushing yards, I really think that they're going to load Zeke up. Do I start Amari Cooper? It just depends on who else you have. Mattison or Kamara? Kamara's not playing, so Mattison. Zeke or Jamaal Williams? Zeke. Should I bench New England's defense? I don't think you need to bench them, no. It depends on who else you have. You're the best. You help me every week. True hero. No problem. You're the best for coming by every week. Thank you. Thank you to everybody. I don't say that enough, but thank you to everybody for hanging out. Being supporting the show. Thank you guys. Tyler, would you go Mattison or Elijah Mitchell? Yo, what are you doing? I would go with Mattison. I love Mattison. I love both those guys. You know me, I'm a massive fan of Elijah Mitchell. Hold on. Get upstairs, dude. My kids drive me nuts. They're freaking. It's so bad for work because they're remote right now. They're remote because there's no substitute teachers right now. So it's, oh man, it's been fun 2 weeks. Yeah, love it. But I would go Mattison because we saw with Mattison, like, he'll be involved in the passing game, running game, 33 or 32 touches, 34 touches, the 2 weeks that Cook didn't play. With Elijah Mitchell, I love Elijah Mitchell. It's just the passing game has been like hit or miss. So, like, the only concern I really have, what if, something happens in this game? I think San Francisco should win. But what if Seattle actually does something this week? And then they kind of have to go more Kyle Juszczyk as the passing down back compared to Elijah Mitchell. So that's the only real concern I have there. Pat or Ertz? I like Ertz. Who's your top 4 tight ends? My top 4 tight ends are Travis Kelce, Kittle, Gronk, and Andrews this week. Do I start Travis Kelce or Dawson Knox? Absolutely Travis Kelce. Come on now. I know Dawson Knox has been really good, but I'm not starting over Travis Kelce. How old are you? You look young for a kid. I just turned 30 this year. I was young when I was like 24, and I guess it looks like everybody gets younger and younger when I go on social media. I'm like an old head compared to everybody else. Do I start Travis Kelce or Dawson Knox? Travis Kelce. Thoughts on the Cowboys defense? I think that they're an okay play today. When I was doing my defensive rankings, I was like, I don't really like, there's not a whole lot of defenses I really like this. I think it's a rough week for defense at this. Thanks a lot, Tyler. You're welcome, Yuki. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. Who's your team? From Houston, but Cowboys fan, a true American. I'm a Steelers fan. I grew up around the Pittsburgh area, so my dad was a Steelers fan, basically brainwashed me from the time I was like, there's videos of 2 years old. I have a Steelers helmet, shoulder pads, Steelers uniform on, running around the house. I've been brainwashed, so Steelers fan. T. Higgins, D. Hop, Diggs, Renfro, Patterson, Mooney need 2. I would go with Diggs and Patterson. Diggs and Patterson, reverse. Ertz, Goddard, fan. I would go with Ertz. All right. And that does it. I've been live for about an hour. So I'm going to hop off. I'm going to go live here in a couple of hours. I'm going to be going live again. Figured I'd hop on, get a little warmed up. This is the pregame. Get a little warmed up for later tonight. So I'm going to hop off. I'll be live later tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get notified when I go live. Also hit that follow button if you're over on TikTok. Get notified when I go live as well. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you very much. And I'll see you later tonight. Peace out, people.